What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be taking along on a round on the white layout at Zoetermeer, and I decided to set out and try birdie every hole. However, there's a catch. It being the second shortest layout, I thought it would be fun to try and birdie every hole lefty. Now, disclaimer, I am not a lefty by any chance, and you will learn really quickly that it does look very unnatural how I am throwing. However, it was still a fun challenge to try to set out to do, and I definitely underestimated how hard this challenge would actually be. Even though the holes are relatively short, I am an even worse player, meaning that I can't reach most of these holes. So I actually had to play it surprisingly smart, picking my spots on where I wanted to try and make some of these longer putts from. And because of this, it ended up taking quite a few attempts, but that actually turned out to be in my favor because I really needed to narrow down what my putting style first off was going to be as a lefty. It feeling so unnatural, that took quite a while to develop, but with all these practice putts that I had trying to get these birdies, it ended up coming together surprisingly fast. As for the discs I'm throwing this round, I took out a big stack of Roadrunners to try and hopefully get a little bit more glide and even some flip up on some of these longer holes. But like I said, since I'm not a lefty and this felt really unnatural to me, it was surprisingly hard to get that distance right. So I'm maxing out at about 50 meters, and so on these longer holes I was really relying on those long putts to try and get those birdies, hole 7 being a great example of it. And also being a blind shot, it required some back and forth to find a good drive. Hole 8, another example of where elevation came into play that I did not account for to begin with, and also made this a lot harder than I was expecting. Typically when I'm playing a normal round on the white layout, that little bit of elevation wouldn't matter because you just put a little bit more spin on the disc and it's completely fine. But as a lefty, everything coming out nose up, it started to hurt my distance. And even though this is a fun challenge, I decided that I would simply play my game even though it's clearly not the best, and I wasn't going to try teach myself how to properly throw lefty. Rather, I found what was comfortable and I tried to make it work. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the white layout is the second shortest layout at Zoetermeer, which also makes this great for beginners who are developing and want to challenge themselves a little bit more than that red layout. But it's also great upshot practice for your more experienced players, just to warm up the body, loosen up, or these winter rounds when it's a little bit colder outside and you don't want to be ripping on your distance drivers. But this is also a great opportunity to challenge yourself, set out to do some fun challenges, really have fun out there, instead of always worrying about throwing as hard as you can, as far as you can. Moving on to hole 14. This is also another example of where I had underestimated how hard birdieing some of these holes could be, where my accuracy is definitely lacking as a lefty, and so it took surprisingly long to try to dial in a straight shot. Although it's 50 meters, surprisingly tricky to get one to hit the hill and slow down. And hole 15 also being a great example of having no angle control. I was trying to throw an anhyzer and took surprisingly long to learn how to do that in the first place, if you could even say that I learned it there. And then 16, having to make a long putt, and I was really struggling to get over that puddle there from all the rain that had come down. Hole 18, we're finishing off with a spike hyzer hole, although it's 45 meters. I'm having to throw this pretty much as hard as I can, this Roadrunner. Even managed to get a little bit of flip up, but thankfully left it close, meaning with that final putt going in on hole 18, I can officially say I have birdied every hole on the white layout at Zoetermeer, although it took a lot more attempts than expected. But if you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.